I'm happy to detain you, okay, first pet lawful
Alright, what's your
section
name?
23 Misuse of Drugs Act. My name at the moment is Acting Sergeant John Dillon, and I'm based at...
What starts as a simple interview about CBD turns into a full-blown police search under the Misuse of Drugs Act. One man stands his ground, armed not with weapons, but with knowledge of his rights. But as tension rises, the officer's suspicion begins to blur the line between lawful procedure and overreach. This isn't just about drugs, it's about power, accountability, and the thin line between suspicion and assumption. Watch closely, because what happens next will leave you questioning who's really in control.
You've just been arrested.
Yeah. And you think they're going to search me too?
So,
If we find something in these premises that gives us the power to search you, then yes we will. As I explained to you before under section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act, that will give me the power to search yourself.
What, me being stood here, that gives you the right to...
If we find drugs in this premises, yes, and you are in this premises when we find drugs, then yes, that would give me the suspicion that you may well be in possession of drugs.
Even though I've told you why I'm here for a completely legitimate
people
reason.
Tell us a lot of things. You may say you're here
as
for
you
a
can
legitimate
see,
reason.
I've got my GoPro on the tripod, ready to interview someone about CBD products, as you can see here. My phone's there charging, so I can obviously film on that if this dies.
How quickly the officer shifts from curiosity to control, demanding a name, despite no legal requirement to give one. Under UK law, you don't have to identify yourself unless you're being detained under a specific power, like Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act or Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. But here's the twist. He hasn't established any grounds yet. Just being present isn't enough.
I'm not doing anything illegal by being here.
You're not doing anything illegal by just being here, no, I appreciate that.
And I've told you my legitimate reason for being here, so you've got no reason to suspect me or have any suspicion that I'm doing anything else other than what I've just told you.
But you haven't given me your name.
I don't have to give you my name.
So how am I able to confirm if you are here for legitimate purposes?
Well, at the moment he's indicated there's some drugs in this bag.
How would me giving my name then...
Fella, listen to me, okay?
I'm listening to you, yeah.
Okay, we are here to arrest this gentleman, yeah? He's been arrested for a drugs offence. Yeah, just come out of the way for us, please.
So is it a medication that you've got a prescription?
So the reason we're here is to arrest someone.
I know why you're here.
Here's the irony. The officer admits his suspicion comes from you being here. But Section 23 requires reasonable grounds, not proximity guilt. It's a classic case of association becoming accusation. And this is exactly why these audits matter. Because the misuse of suspicion is what erodes public trust.
Controlled drugs.
Yeah.
So if we find controlled drugs on this premises, I have to be satisfied that any people in this premises aren't also in possession of controlled drugs. Okay? It's suspicion being that people here are supplying controlled drugs. So if you haven't got anything
What power and what law will he be using to search me then?
Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act. Okay, which gives me the power to search somebody in public or private if we suspect that they are in possession of controlled drugs.
So you've got to have suspicion for that. Me being here is not enough suspicion.
Well, based on our intelligence that this gentleman here is supplying controlled drugs, not just being in possession of them, but he is a supplier of controlled drugs, and you are here with him, would then to me suggest there may be suspicion that you have been supplied drugs by him. Well, that is it.
If you search me, I don't consent to it, and I'll be taking legal action too. So,
if we search you, I will explain the procedure behind it, and how if you want to make a complaint you can. There's a whole procedure that
I won't be going through your own complaints department, I'll be going through the right legal ways to do it properly.
Now listen to this. The officer actually gives a semi-correct process for complaints, but he frames it like a favor. Complain to us first, he says, and the auditor's response? Perfectly grounded. Internal complaints rarely go far, which is why independent bodies like the IOPC exist. That's experience speaking, not attitude.
The right legal ways would be to initially start with complaining to us.
It wouldn't. There's no point complaining to the police internally, is there? I'm not going to get anywhere, am I? Realistically. And just get told off. I may be about it, but...
No, you can think that if you want, fella. Okay.
No, that's what happens.
Based on what? Previous experience?
Well, no, but the best way to do it is to go through like a private company that specialises in it, because you're not going to get anywhere complaining to the police. Because what outcome would I get? What would I get? The outcome if I complained to the police? What would happen?
About what? About
being searched unlawfully?
About anything the police have done?
No, about being searched unlawfully. Yeah, what would happen then? Like, I'd just get a letter saying, "Oh, we are sorry" or something like that.
Is there going to be anything sharp?
I don't know what they would.
Exactly. I mean, you don't even know what they'd do. So
well, it would be investigated from an internal point of view, and if they felt that there was like more shortcomings there, then it could be referred to the RPC, couldn't it? Which are an independent body that investigate the police, and if you're not satisfied with that, then you'd be entitled to take that further, wouldn't you?
Yep, which I will do if I need to.
Is he okay to stay here while you do the search and record while you do the search?
It depends what happens.
I am the proprietor of the shop. There's nothing in this shop to stay for any illegal activities whatsoever. Right. So, and I give him permission to stay here while the search is being done.
Right, sir.
Yeah, so, right, good.
Thank you. Just making sure you're all behaving, really.
So we've got our own body worn video on as well, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We use it, you see.
Yeah. I'll just have to request that though, wouldn't I? I can't bother going.
And here we go. The warrant confusion. The officer admits the warrant isn't for this premises, but insists they can still search under Section 32 of PACE. Legally, that's possible only if the arrest and suspicion directly connect to the location. Otherwise, this starts to feel less like a lawful search and more like fishing for justification.
All that rigmarole and having to wait weeks and that. So, well, not really. I've got it myself. I don't need to have your footage. But I could also ask for your footage too if I wanted to. I could get it from different angles, but I don't want to. I've got my own. So
we're in the middle of an investigation at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Which we've got every right to do. Got a magistrate's warrant. We're on premise. All signed. Don't worry. You can have copies of that, as you well know. You can have. All signed.
Where is it? Like, can we see it before you proceed?
All signed.
Can we see?
All signed. The power to search is here. It's all sorted, and we're quite happy to share that.
Yeah, can we see it now? Like,
right. So
can we see that signature now?
That's good. That's good. So I'm just explaining to you at the minute. We're in the middle of an investigation.
Yeah. Can we see that signature now? Like,
we've got that. Not yet.
Not yet.
But it's up at a different premises. So
surely, before you're doing all this, you should have to show that, because what if it's not signed?
No, the warrant. There might be some confusion. The warrant isn't for this premises. The warrant is for. Are you happy with me discussing what's going on with this chap? Just
yeah.
The warrant is home address.
Confidential to you, really.
So that's what the warrant is for. Obviously, this shop was open, which is why we've come in this morning, and the rest of the gentlemen. Okay, so we don't need a warrant to be here now, because after being arrested, we have a power to search under Section 32.
Right.
The Police and Criminal Evidence Act. All right. So there isn't a wet signature for this place. That's for his home address, and that's
definitely got a wet signature.
Those paperwork with people who are at that premises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go around to his premises too while you're searching?
You won't be able to go in there because that's totally different.
Yeah.
At the moment, because you're like secure, right? We don't know whether you'll take anything into that warrant or whatever. So no, you won't be allowed access there.
Found anything?
Okay, you've got your medicinals. That's what you've.
Yes,
I've heard you say that.
Yeah. Is that's what's in there? Is that what you've seen? Yeah.
That's what I've seen. Yeah. Some of it.
What will you do with that then? Will you take it or will you leave it? It's medication.
It'll all be checked, it'll all be properly logged and checked.
In the flat, that's
it's not something we can make a decision on our own.
Because that's his medication, is that, innit?
It will, everything will be properly overseen, checked.
I'm not going to take some where there's more into that.
Not really. I mean, if it like on the actual packet, it's got his name, I'm guessing, on it, the prescription and that.
Yeah, that isn't enough.
What else would you need?
Current guidance. There's a card that you should be provided
You
with.
don't get a card because I'm on medical cannabis myself, and I don't have a card.
Okay.
I've never had a card.
This one?
Have you not?
Never, no.
That's his.
And it comes through the post, DPD, Cure Relief.
Brilliant comeback from the cameraman. And he's right. Suspicion isn't whatever the officer feels. It's something that must be objectively reasonable. That means any ordinary person, given the same info, would agree there's a chance of an offense. The officer's response? Those grounds aren't yours to form. That's power talking, not law.
And I've not got a card, so I don't know who's told you that.
Pure relief don't give a card. There's only relief that give a card. So
No over mobile phones?
no, none whatsoever. None.
Can I have my phone back, or what are you doing with my phone?
Is that
Another minute, we just need to be satisfied that
Well-
the digital devices that we're taking in relation to our investigation
1 second,
aren't being taken by somebody else. Once we're happy with that, then if your phone's there and we don't need to search you, then you'll be able to have it back.
You've got no need to search me, like I say, I'm just here.
The thing is, it's not a need, okay?
It's more of a want, isn't it?
No, it's not one. It's not one.
Can that bag come with me?
It's
No,
to
no,
satisfy
that's fine.
ourselves,
No, I've seen
yeah,
that.
that you aren't involved
Yeah, I know, that
in
was
any
sorted
criminal
out
activity
in
that may or may not have happened in the premises.
Well, I've already told you why I'm
No,
here,
I know you have, mate. I know.
so that should
But
be enough to satisfy.
unfortunately, yeah, people don't always tell us the truth, and I'm not saying you're lying to me.
Yeah.
But you've given me an account, which I've heard,
Yeah.
and it may well be reasonable, but it may also not be completely fabricated.
Yeah.
Which you have sure have to understand from my point of view. Yeah. So if we need to then search you to satisfy ourselves that you're not involved in anything that's gone on, then that will happen if there is suspicion. If we don't, then you'll be able to take your devices and you'll be able to leave if you want, or you can stay and film the search of the shop. I'm not saying, right, this is exactly what's happening. I'm just explaining to you what can happen. Yeah, which is why at the minute we're just saying, don't touch them because we need to satisfy ourselves they're not involved in the investigation.
Yeah.
If they're not, then we're all good.
All right, mate.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But like I say, I don't consent to a search at all. So if you do search, then
I appreciate what you're saying about consenting to the search, okay?
Yep.
Unfortunately, if I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that there may be something on your person, then it's not a consent issue.
But like I'm saying, you don't have reasonable grounds. The only reasonable grounds you've got is that I'm here. That is not enough reasonable grounds to suspect someone to be involved in drug activity or anything like that. And I've already given you account of why I'm here.
As I explained to you before, whoever he is to you, friend, colleague, just a business acquaintance,
No,
whatever.
just my friends.
Okay.
As far
He's
I've come
been
down
arrested for a drugs-related offence in terms of supplying drugs. Okay, so surely from that you can understand why I might suspect you may have been here. You may, I'm not saying you are, but you may have been here in order to be supplied drugs.
Yeah, I can understand that.
If I satisfy myself that that's not the case, then you won't be searched. All I said to you was, if you need to be searched, I've told you the powers in which we would do them. But if you don't, then you won't be.
Like I'm saying, you don't have reasonable grounds. The only reasonable grounds you've got is suspicion.
So those reasonable grounds aren't yours to form, mate. They're mine. Okay.
Oh yeah, but then it's also you that'll be in the shit, so to speak. You know?
Well, maybe, but that doesn't concern you then, does it? If I'm in the shit.
And there it is, the classic escalation. The officer declares the search lawful, drops his name and badge number, and even mentions the use of force if necessary. At this point, the encounter has turned from cooperative to coercive. It's a textbook example of how calm resistance, backed by legal awareness, exposes weak grounds in real time. Would you stand your ground like this, or comply and contest it later?
Well, it will do if I'm getting locked up and that for an unlawful reason, won't it? Or
We've never mentioned about being locked up. Okay, unless you've got something on you that's going to lead you to being locked up.
Being like unlawfully searched, then.
Okay.
Like even that's like sort of taking away my liberties and my rights, isn't it?
In some respects, for a short period of time, yeah, it is. Yeah.
This helps you ground some more, just to give you some more information. There are some what look like medicinal cannabis, but there is also what in this bag and possession, what might not be. Just if that creates any more grounds for yourself.
Okay.
I'd be quite happy.
I'll have a stick in the bag in them.
So
I'd be quite happy that.
So on your opinion of something not being lawful, that would be enough
for the offence that's been investigated at the moment. Okay, and for what someone's been arrested for, and for what's been located on this premise at the moment.
So what's giving you the reasonable grounds to think that it's illegal, and what you found? Because
I don't need to go into what I found. I'll just say what's on the premise at the moment.
So you found some medical cannabis that's legal, and probably maybe a grinder or some paraphernalia. Yeah, it's nothing really, is it, mate? When you think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to detain you, okay, for lawful
All right,
section,
what's your
section
name?
23, Misuse of Drugs Act. My name at the moment is Acting Sergeant John Dillon. I'm based at the Eastfield Police Station.
All right, what's your collar number?
It's 1077 is
All
my
right.
collar number. Okay, I like to define my ethnicity. I define myself as white and British. Can I get your ethnicity, please?
Whatever you can see. What do I look like?
No, it's what we like to ask people. You can refuse if you like.
I don't answer any questions, to be fair, like, but what do I look like to you?
Okay, you do have the right to have a copy of the stop search certificate if you wish to do so. That's later, but I can explain. I can also explain if you wish to complain and how you can go about doing that.
No,
obviously, everything that we're doing is it's being on record. It's on body worn, and I can see your recording there as well. I'm quite happy for you to hold that body worn camera. I know that you've not consented to a search. Okay, that's obviously something that I can do, and I've got lawful right to exercise use of force if we wish to do so.
Oh, no, I'm not going to
use as
stop
minimal
you.
force as possible. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you.
I've tried to explain the reasonable grounds that I've got. Okay, which is that drugs that you try to explain are medicinal, but there are none what I suspect medicinal drugs on this premise. Okay, of what I've seen.
Yep.
And for that reason, you're here, and for the arrest that's recently been made, okay, for being concerned in the supply, in that you've attended this property, potentially in having drugs on yourself at this time as well. Okay, by the time I'd arrived. Okay.
Right, well, if you think that's enough, then, mate, yeah, let's crack on with it then.
That's as much as well as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, if you think that's enough,
I'm
mate.
happy.
I'll
So
just
if
set
you just
that
keep
up
your
there.
hands at all time where they are. Okay, so explain myself, explain the grounds. Thank you. If you could just stand there for a minute. Okay. Just going to go through your pockets. Nothing sharp enough.
Nothing. It's my headphones.
Thank you. If you just turn around for me, please.
That was search inside pocket, mate.
Oh yeah, I can. Thanks for pointing that out for me.
Right. Saying it's just this one.
Is that band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Could